So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that? And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazy Cat Lady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purposes. Hi everybody, Martha here. So I'm still not feeling too good right now. Hopefully I feel better. I don't know what it is really, but just hope I feel better. But this is Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Fright, the fifth book, Bunny Call. So I'll try my best to read what it says in the back. It says, left when left in darkness, the rays festered. The years of frustration with his family culminated in the launch of Vacation for Bob, who plots a sinister prank to frighten his wife and kids. Matt reiterates excitable anger over his many failure relationships into a video game. It ends up bursting a horrible consequences. In room 1280 of Hospital Hercules Hospital, something evil keeps a man alive. Man with gruesome burns over his body, and the irony that will to live. So the first one, Bob, was basically about a dad who has two boys and a little girl, and they're going to a camping trip, and he's not enjoying any of it. He wants to be like able to be where he's on vacation, where he doesn't have to work with kids and stuff like that, where he's able to just do stuff on his own right now. Cause I guess he's sick of being a dad for a little while, and he decides to play a little prank on his family. And this prank is called the Bunny Call, which is basically an alarm by a big bunny going around with a slamming with some terrains like that big that monkey toy that's from Toy Story 3. Basically, that's what this is. Just not the face is not as scary to this one, though. Happens weirdly at the end. Might think otherwise. Depends. So he he can't get to sleep because he feels like he did something wrong, and he doesn't want to have his family go through this, so he can't go to sleep. But it keeps on bugging him, the guilt, I guess. And so he goes outside and tries to trying to cool his head, and talks to a guy who's smoking over it, and yeah. And then when he's head back to his camp, he heads back to his his, his shed, whatever, his tent or shack, whatever you sleep in. When you're camping, Ben wants to camp, so yep, lodge. So the bunny person's coming to break in, but every single time, he won't. He tries to stop him from laying in. Bob does, and he actually makes the person leave a couple times. Like this bunny keeps on going through like the doors, the windows, and eventually it tries to break through the bottom part. Yep, and it does bleed, and so he does beat it till it bleeds somewhat, and then he and eventually makes sure it doesn't come in. So the next day he like feels triumphant and hugs all three of his kids and his wife, and all pretty much all four of them are like wondering what the heck is going on. Why is Bob acting like this? So and then when they get into the cafeteria place, it's announced that the bunny person overslept. So what the heck attacked Bob? What the heck attacked Bob? If the person who was supposed to do the bunny call was sleeping at the time period, what the heck was that? We do not know. It's a twist ending. You just don't know what it was. And that's all it ends with wondering what the heck was that. So yep. And yep. So that's basically it for that one. And that one was called the bunny call, the first one. Now the second one has to do with Matt is called In the Flesh. So this is about a video game programmer named Matt, and he is designing a new game called um the, called Plaid Straps Revenge. So it's the Golden Bunny. It's time to shine, and he's trying. And the character is trying to attack him, the Golden Bunny, and he's really mad that he cannot get a good relationship, and it like explodes on every single one of the new girls that tries to date him, including his roommate. He's not very nice to him, which is named is Jason. So and like Jason tries to set up with the plan with a blind date. Instead of flirting with her, he flirts with Jason's date after Jason's like in the bathroom or something like that. And Jason does not like this, so he decides to leave. And while this is going on, also Matt is starting to eat a lot and starting to act all moody and stuff like that. So turns out the reason why he's acting like this way, I don't know if uh, is a real jerk, and you don't act like this when us girls don't act like this all the time. I've been around a couple people who, but it's not really supposed to be a guy thing that happens to him. So I don't know, but so basically, what is going on with Matt here? He is pregnant with um with the golden rabbit, golden Bonnie, Bloodstrap. I have a hard time saying that name. And he ends up like giving birth to him, and ends up killing him because the bunny ends up like literally ripping his belly open. It's like the worst C-section is the history of C-sections. So he basically gets killed in this. So I think, and he's like the only one that out of these three books who ends up dying. Um, well, I'm not sure if you can really count what happens in um the next one, room. The man in room 1-2, eight room 1280 as as death because he kind of deserved to die. Because you remember, if you can guess who he is, we all want that guy to die. Yep, Jason's not. Jason's finding him when he comes back to get his stuff. Calls the cops and letting and saying they don't know how this happened. So yeah, and the golden bunny's already gone. So yep. So that game's not coming out. So now the next one is like I said, the man in room 1280 And this is about about a priest father. Right, we're just calling. I'm gonna call him Arthur because I have a hard time pronouncing his last name. And he goes to a hospital named Heracles, and he's a father that goes to like say the last words for when somebody's about to die, and if they want a last request, he'll take them again that last request. So he goes to this hospital, and a guy in the hospice area is very badly burned. You can like see a lot of his insides like that. He smells, and basically he's like the worst shape of all. And so, uh, three nurses are calling him evil because of how he looks, and we also have this girl who is starting like her first day of work, Mia, who wants to give what Arthur wants to do, a chance. But basically, what this man in this room wants is to goes to the Fazbear Entertainment Center, and Arthur can't. They won't allow him to do it because they think this guy is evil because the way he looks and stuff like that. And so the nurses try to kill him three different ways. Like they first try to like give him a lot of morphine, and then they try smothering him, and then they try to give him a whole bunch of air, which will he basically will explode. And all three does not succeed. And also, there's a ghost boy who has black hair and has um an alligator mask. So if you remember, think the fourth game where they had the third game where they were like where all the monster with all the animatronics move on up, you get the good ending. There was a whole bunch of a whole bunch of the masks there, and several of them were an alligator mask. So I bet one of them was this boy, and there was a hint. This was the boy that could have been inside the mask for the one of the last books inside Golden Freddy, the one that have to hold on. Let me go and get it. So that one is for the new. That one is new kid. The one has to do with Devin. So that's the one I think is that's where I think this little boy came from. Is the one that who was already inside Golden Freddy. So and they're also yeah. And this little boy won't let this man die. And I keep on right when they were describing this guy's burnt marks and stuff like that. I had a feeling this was the purple man, the purple guy, William, right here, right after he gets burned alive, and the and ultimate Crescent Knights. So, yep. And I know it sounds. So that's what I think happened here, and they won't let him move on, and so yep. And Arthur gets to take him to the Fazbear Entertainment, and he does die there, kind of. I'm not really sure because I'll start reading. I'll read this to you guys and see what you guys think about it. Arthur leaned over the wheelchair just as the man collapsed into a mold of bones and was a massive field of human parts. A launch of Arthur began to pray silently, but Arthur could not get through the two words of his prayer. The man remains heaven and burst like a nightmare egg, and slowly opened to display new life. The press a new telling stick of black blood of the terror-like substance, and the frightening spray all over Arthur, building last connection, bloating in the bones. This bent of organs happened in an instant. In that instant, Arthur saw the vague remains of the glass and held as himself. But then he rushed into the wrap of nestledness, lace of bloody body in front of its face. As he did this, he saw the man body tumbled from the wheelchair, and Arthur knew the man was dead. Instantly, Arthur. Okay, where was I? Um, Arthur began to pray again, but as he prayed, he heard something wipe through the thoughts of prayer in his mind. He heard a rush of passionate footprints inside the place, the footprints carried away from the shovel across the building. What was that? Arthur wiped his eyes again and looked around. At first, all he saw was the man's remains, and the first time he was silenced, he gathered his courage to look at the man, and all that was inside was still. Then Arthur gazed the land. Its tiny footprints was the man herd of fruit. He followed the trace and saw the footprints continued away from the man, and edged to the man's like blood. Fearful harness of harness marking the remains. The way to where the man was onward, but something hadn't. Father, is everything okay? A man's voice hinted. High shock asked Arthur. Arthur turned. The speaker was a red-headed man with a clipboard. He stared at the floor, and his face was balanced wide. Actually, no. Anything. I don't think anything is okay, he said for the first time in his life, and he was sure of it. So, I don't know what happened there. It's hard to explain. If you think that man died there, it's up to you. But I don't know. I don't think he did. So, yeah. And the Stitch Stripe story is kind of they kind of like talked about like having Officer Clayton's they're investigating what happened to Phineas at his lab, and he doesn't want to explain what he thinks to Roberts, that this premise is crazy, but he believes that this really happened, and that homeless guy ends up seeing the Stitch rapes and following it to a warehouse where he like sees a whole bunch of the pieces of things like the robot dog that and stuff like that there, and he runs away basically. And we also see Jake and Andrew again, and Jake wants to move on, but he can't because he has to help. He has to make sure that Andrew doesn't do any more bad things. So yeah, that's basically what happens in this book. It's pretty good. Um, this is supposed to be the last one, but there's going to be two more. So, and I'm perfectly okay if there is two more. I like all five of these books were pretty good. So I can't wait for the sixth one, but probably comes out next year, I think. And these five books are all pretty good to come out like every other month, but I don't think the sixth one's come out anytime this year. So I'm gonna come out next year, but can't wait for it. And so I'm gonna get this Bunny Call book a 8 out of 10. So, and Sully gets 0 for pause. I'll see you guys later. Like, parents, subscribe, and bye bye.